I'm looking at 500 contracts this year. Every single one takes my team 6 hours to review, redline, and risk score. That's 3,000 hours annually. At $450 per contract, I'm burning $225,000 just keeping up with paperwork. And the money is not even the worst part here. Last quarter, we were buried under deadlines and we missed something critical, a liability cap in a vendor agreement, which cost us $250,000 in exposure we never saw coming. This is what keeps me up at night. The more contracts we process, the more mistakes we make. Human fatigue doesn't scale. And when one missed clause can destroy your quarter, you realize the system's fundamentally broken. So I deployed a multi-agent AI system. 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1 extracts every clause against our playbook instantly. Agent 2 validates GDPR and CCPA compliance in real time. Agent 3 calculates financial exposure against our risk thresholds. Agent 4 scores legal enforceability using case precedents. A central orchestrator routes everything, synthesizes findings, generates one unified risk score above 70, automatic escalation with specific recommendations. Review time dropped from 6 hours to 8 minutes, 97% reduction. Cost per contract, $450 down to $15. We're projecting $1.2 million in annual savings. But here's what actually matters: 100% compliance consistency. No missed clauses, no hidden liabilities, no more 2 a.m. panic attacks. This isn't incremental improvement. These are legal operations, rebuilt from the ground up. 4 AI agents, 1 orchestrator, never sleep, never misses. The contract lifecycle management and risk scoring. Blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop bleeding money on contract reviews. You are tasked with monitoring over 500 regulatory updates across the Federal Register, EU RLEX, and state agencies every single week. Manually reviewing that volume takes your team 40 hours a week. That is 1 full-time senior employee doing nothing but reading the news. You're burning $350,000 a year just keeping up with the paperwork. And the money is not even the worst part here. You miss one subtle change in data residency requirements. Just one line of text buried in thousands of pages. By the time you catch it, you are scrambling to re-architect your data flow, risking a massive audit failure. On average, manual teams miss 3 critical deadlines a year. That creates over $500,000 in potential penalties hanging over your head every fiscal year. The stress is constant. Your team gets tired, eyes glaze over, human fatigue doesn't scale, the system is broken. So you deploy a multi-agent AI system. 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the regulatory scanner. It monitors global sources 24/7, extracting only the key details relevant to your specific industry. Agent 2, the impact analyzer. It maps those new regulations against your specific product catalog to estimate operational impact immediately. Agent 3, the policy gap assessor. It reads your internal SOC2 and ISO frameworks and flags exactly where current policies fall short. Agent 4, the remediation planner. It generates a specific action plan, assigns owners to tasks, and sets the compliance timeline. The brain, a central orchestrator, synthesizes these findings into a prioritized roadmap, highlighting high urgency items based on deadlines. The output, a daily compliance dashboard showing gap identified. Remediation plan generated, owners assigned time. You go from 40 hours of manual reading a week to just 2 hours of strategic review. Cost, flip, you eliminate the $350,000 wasted on manual monitoring. Savings, you project saving $500,000 annually by avoiding regulatory fines. The real win, you go from missing 3 deadlines a year to 0. 100% compliance, no more panic attacks. This is a total operational rebuild. You get agents that never sleep, never miss a detail, and turn compliance from a reactive panic into a proactive advantage. This is the Regulatory Intelligence and Compliance Gap Analysis Blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop chasing the Federal Register. Stop risking lawsuits. You just received access to a virtual data room containing 15,000 unstructured documents. To review this manually takes a team of external associates, 12 weeks of grueling labor. You are burning $1.2 million just keeping up with the due diligence checklist. And the money is not even the worst part here. In your last deal, a fatigued associate missed a single change of control clause buried deep in a subsidiary contract. That one oversight cost millions in unexpected payouts after the close. When you are drowning in data, you aren't finding leverage, you are just trying to survive. The anxiety of missing a critical detail keeps you up at night. Human fatigue doesn't scale. The system is broken. So you deploy the due diligence orchestrator, 5 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the legal analyzer. It hunts for change of control clauses and litigation risks across thousands of contracts. Agent 2, the financial risk assessor. It analyzes revenue concentration and flags accounting irregularities against benchmarks. Agent 3, the compliance scanner. It detects regulatory violations and privacy gaps like GDPR non-compliance. Agent 4, the IP verifier. It confirms patent ownership and identifies infringement risks that devalue the asset. Agent 5, the HR auditor. It reviews executive comp and calculates hidden severance liabilities. The brain, a central orchestrator, aggregates these thousands of data points. The output, a single, risk-weighted report, highlighting exactly where you have leverage to renegotiate the price. Time, flip. You compress the timeline from 12 weeks to just 3 weeks. Cost, flip. You slash the diligence bill from $1.2 million down to $300,000. Savings. That is a 75% reduction in time to close. And the real win. The AI identifies 40% more critical issues than the manual team, giving you total deal confidence. This isn't just faster reading, it's deeper discovery. You get agents that uncover value humans miss and turn due diligence into a competitive advantage. This is the M&A Due Diligence Blueprint at lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop burning cash on billable hours. Stop closing bad deals. You are facing a constant race against the clock with product updates and new vendor tools. Keeping a data map current is impossible. When a single data subject access request comes in, it takes your team 30 days to manually hunt down data across scattered systems. You are burning huge sums of operational budget just trying to locate your own data. And the money is not even the worst part here. Manual processes are prone to error. Last year, you missed a shadow IT database during a deletion request. The result was a compliance violation. With a manual SLA achievement rate of only 73%, you are walking a tightrope. A single serious breach could trigger penalties up to $2 million. You need 100% accuracy, but human effort alone can't get you there. So you deploy the privacy compliance orchestrator, 5 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the data mapping agent. It scans APIs and schemas to map the data flows in real time, instantly flagging shadow IT. Agent 2, the compliance gap analyzer. It compares current practices against GDPR and CCPA to catch missing notices. Agent 3, the DSAR fulfillment agent. It automates the painful searching and validating of deletions to generate responses. Agent 4, the vendor privacy assessor. It reviews vendor policies to identify gaps in processing agreements. The brain, a central orchestrator, coordinates all this, escalating only true violations. The output, a verified compliance dashboard where routine work is handled automatically. Time, flip. You go from 30 days to fulfill a request to just 3 days. Cost, flip. You slash the cycle time by 90%. Savings, you mitigate over $2 million in potential penalty risks by catching gaps early. The real win, you move from a risky 73% success rate to 100% SLA compliance. Privacy is no longer a bottleneck. This turns a regulatory burden into an automated machine. You get agents that deliver continuous compliance and total peace of mind. This is the GDPR/CCPA privacy compliance and data mapping blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop fearing the next audit. Stop handling DSARs manually. You are buried under a massive backlog of invention disclosures. To clear a single invention for filing, an attorney spends 30 hours digging through patent databases. That is nearly a full work week. You are spending $6,000 just to validate one idea before drafting even begins. And the money is not even the worst part here. You miss one crucial piece of non-patent literature because the search was manual. The result is a 103 obviousness rejection that costs months to argue. You end up with narrowed claims that barely protect the product. You need broader coverage, but human researchers simply can't read everything. The uncertainty of a rejection keeps you up at night. Human fatigue doesn't scale. The system is broken, so you deploy the IP portfolio orchestrator. 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the prior art search agent. It scans global patent databases and non-patent literature simultaneously to find what humans miss. Agent 2, the patentability assessor. It evaluates the invention against 35 USC standards and case law to maximize novelty. Agent 3, the freedom to operate analyzer. It maps claim elements against blocking patents and recommends design arounds. Agent 4, the portfolio strategist. It analyzes competitor portfolios to identify gaps and assets you should abandon. The brain, a central orchestrator, synthesizes this into a strategic filing plan. The output, a comprehensive report showing 40% broader coverage ready for final counsel review. Time, flip, you drop from 30 hours per search to just 4 hours. Cost, flip, you slash the cost from $6,000 down to $800. Savings, that is an 87% reduction in time. The real win, you see a 25% higher allowance rate and secure 40% broader claim coverage because the AI found the white space manual searches missed. This doesn't just save time, it builds a stronger moat around your business. You get agents that ensure your IP is novel, defensible, and valuable. This is the IP portfolio management and prior art discovery blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop filing blind. Stop engineering weak patents. You are managing operations across 15 different states, each with its own changing labor laws. Updating the employee handbook takes your team 4 months of grueling review. You are burning massive operational hours just trying to keep the rules current. And the money is not even the worst part here. You miss a single update in a state-specific overtime rule because local agencies change rules daily. That one missed update nearly triggers a class action lawsuit. The risk is $500,000 in potential litigation hanging over your head. You are constantly worried about the one statute you missed. Human fatigue doesn't scale. The system is broken. So you deploy the employment compliance orchestrator. 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the employment law monitor. It scans the DOL, EECC, and state agencies 24/7 to extract effective dates for every new regulation. Agent 2, the policy gap analyzer. It compares new laws against your current handbook to instantly identify gaps. Agent 3, the handbook reviser. It drafts compliant language and creates state-specific addenda automatically. Agent 4, the job classification auditor. It reviews job descriptions against FLSA tests to identify misclassifications before they become lawsuits. The brain, a central orchestrator, prioritizes these updates by risk. The output, a fully compliant, redlined handbook ready for legal sign-off. Time, flip. You go from 4 months of revision time to just 2 weeks. Cost, flip. You reduce the time spent on manual review by 94%. Savings. You avoid an estimated $500,000 per year in potential settlements. The real win, you reduce your wage and hour litigation risk by 70%. This turns a legal minefield into an automated safety net. You get agents that ensure you're compliant in every zip code. This is the Employment Law Compliance and Policy Management Blueprint at lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop worrying about the next lawsuit. Stop chasing state statutes. You are facing every lawyer's worst nightmare. Your client just received a subpoena requiring the production of 2 million documents. The court gave you 30 days. To review this manually takes an army of contract attorneys working around the clock. You are looking at a 6-month project timeline you simply don't have, with a price tag approaching $2 million. And the money is not even the worst part here. Human reviewers get tired. In your last large-scale review, a fatigued associate accidentally produced a privileged email chain to opposing counsel. That inadvertent waiver nearly lost you the case. When you are reviewing millions of pages, finding the smoking gun is hard, but protecting your client's secrets is even harder. Human fatigue doesn't scale, the system is broken, so you deploy the eDiscovery orchestrator, 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the relevance reviewer. It applies complex search criteria to instantly classify documents as responsive and flags hot documents for early assessment. Agent 2, the privilege analyzer. It identifies attorney-client communications, flags waiver risks, and automatically generates the privilege log. Agent 3, the issue coding agent. It reads for context, tagging documents by specific case issues, key players, and critical dates. Agent 4, the quality control reviewer. It statistically samples the AI's work to identify potential errors and recalibrate models in real time. The brain, a central orchestrator, manages this entire workflow. The output, a clean production set and a defensible privilege log generated without human burnout. Time, flip. You compress a 6-month review into just 3 weeks. Cost, flip. You drop the cost from $2 million to $400,000. Savings, that is an 80% reduction in the discovery budget. The real win, 0 inadvertent waivers. The privilege analyzer achieves 99.4% accuracy, outperforming human review teams. This represents the future of litigation support. You get agents that deliver speed, savings, and total defensibility. This is the eDiscovery document review blueprint at lyzr.ai/blueprints. Don't settle for manual review. Win your discovery phase. 4 times a year, your life stops. It is board meeting season. The process of preparing the board book is a logistical marathon. Chasing executives for slides and formatting agendas takes you 50 hours of manual work per meeting. You are burning over a week of lost time just to get the materials ready for print. And the money is not even the worst part here. Last year, amidst the chaos of meeting prep, you missed a critical SOX certification deadline. The result was a frantic scramble to avoid a regulatory violation. On average, manual teams miss 2 to 3 internal deadlines a year. In the world of public markets, a simple administrative error can trigger fines, audits, or even delisting concerns. Human fatigue doesn't scale, the system is broken. So you deploy the corporate governance orchestrator, 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the board meeting preparation agent. It automatically generates agendas, collects materials from executives, and compiles the final board book based on bylaws. Agent 2, the board minutes and resolutions agent. It drafts formal minutes, captures votes, and tracks action items so nothing gets lost. Agent 3, the compliance certification tracker. It monitors SOX requirements and tracks every director's certification status. Agent 4, the director independence assessor. It analyzes board member relationships against strict rules to automatically flag conflicts of interest. The brain, a central orchestrator, manages the governance calendar. The output, a dashboard showing 100% certification and a board book ready for distribution. Time, flip. You drop from 50 hours of manual prep to just 8 hours of strategic review. Cost, flip. You reduce the workload by 84%. Savings. The company realizes over $80,000 in annual savings. The real win. You go from missing deadlines to 0. You are no longer just an admin, you are a strategic advisor. This turns compliance from a logistical nightmare into a competitive advantage. You get agents ensuring your board is informed, compliant, and ready. This is the corporate governance and board compliance blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. You are shipping advanced components to 50 countries every week. Every single shipment is a potential minefield. Your team has to manually screen 500 shipments a week against fluctuating government lists. That is a slow manual bottleneck holding up millions of dollars in inventory. You are burning operational cash just trying to clear your own loading dock. And the money is not even the worst part here. Export control is a strict liability offense. One mistake, shipping to a denied party, or misclassifying a dual-use item can result in fines ranging from $300,000 to $5 million, or even criminal charges. Last quarter, a simple clerical error nearly let a restricted component ship to an embargoed zone. You know, manual spreadsheets cannot keep up with global geopolitics. Human fatigue doesn't scale. The system is broken. So you deploy the trade compliance orchestrator, 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the restricted party screener. It checks every entity against OFAC, BIS, and UN sanction lists in real time, flagging matches humans miss. Agent 2, the export classification agent. It analyzes technical specs against the Commerce Control List to determine the correct ECCN or ITAR classification. Agent 3, the License Application Manager. It drafts necessary applications, validates end-use statements, and tracks government status. Agent 4, the Audit Trail Generator. It logs every decision and rationale into an immutable record. The Brain, a central orchestrator, acts as the gatekeeper for every transaction. The Output, a system where no box leaves the warehouse without a complete, defensible compliance record. Time, Flip. You move from hours of manual screening to just seconds per shipment. Cost, Flip. You eliminate the risk of a $5 million penalty exposure. Savings. The screening process is now 95% faster. The real win. You move from reactive panic to 100% record-keeping accuracy. The warehouse flows faster and you sleep better. This turns a regulatory burden into a competitive advantage. You get agents ensuring your exports are legal, documented, and fast. This is the Trade Compliance and Export Control Blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. Stop gambling with sanctions. Start securing your supply chain. You are eyeing a strategic merger worth $500 million that could reshape the market. But with the deal comes the regulatory hurdle. Analyzing market data and thousands of documents for the HSR filing takes expensive outside counsel weeks. You are burning huge legal fees just to assess if the deal is even legal. And the money is not even the worst part here. Regulatory scrutiny is at an all-time high. A miscalculation in market share or a poorly defined market definition invites a full-blown DOJ investigation. The risk is a blocked merger and a $50 million breakup fee. You need to know if the deal will survive scrutiny before you sign. A simple oversight can destroy the transaction. Human fatigue doesn't scale. The system is broken. So, you deploy the Antitrust Compliance Orchestrator, 4 specialist agents working simultaneously. Agent 1, the Merger Clearance Analyzer. It calculates transaction values against HSR thresholds and analyzes FTC precedents to determine timelines instantly. Agent 2, the Market Analysis Agent. It defines market boundaries and calculates the HHI score to predict if the merger triggers competitive concerns. Agent 3, the Competitive Conduct Reviewer. It scans agreements for Sherman Act violations like price fixing or exclusivity provisions. Agent 4, the Antitrust Training Generator. It creates custom training modules to ensure the sales team knows exactly what to say during the transition. The Brain, a central orchestrator, manages the compliance review. The Output, a clear go-no-go analysis identifying risks before regulators do. Time, Flip. You accelerate the analysis from 4 weeks to just 3 days. Cost, Flip. You secure the $50 million deal value by avoiding a block. Savings. That is an 85% acceleration in the clearance process. The real win. You identify and fix pricing clauses proactively. No surprises, no blocks. This turns regulatory fear into strategic confidence. You get agents ensuring your growth is legal and your deals are safe. This is the Antitrust Compliance Blueprint at Lyzr.ai/blueprints. Don't let the DOJ stop your momentum. Stop risking a breakup fee.